TikTok just got banned by the US government. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what it means for you, where you should go next, so alternatives to TikTok, what it means for TikTok, if TikTok's going to come back, and what this means for the future of social media. We're going to get right into it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off with this article by the Washington Post. Supreme Court upholds TikTok ban or sale law slated to start Sunday. And Sunday is tomorrow, at least as of recording this video. So, long story short, the Supreme Court on Friday upheld a federal law that effectively bans TikTok in the US unless the widely popular video sharing app pulls off an unlikely last-minute divestiture from Chinese ownership. Basically meaning they need to sell today, at least today as of recording this video, or they're gone. They're not going to operate in the US. It's just done. So, as you can tell, the stakes are pretty damn high. So the unanimous decision was a major blow for TikTok, injecting deep uncertainty into the app's future with the deadline to sell the platform just 2 days away. Well, not even, well, 2 days as of this article, I suppose. But basically, it's just the stakes are really, really high. And there's never been any US law that's shut down a popular social media platform before, let alone one with 170 million users in the United States who use the app to get their news, to have a laugh, and some even make money off of it the same way you make money off of YouTube. It is an income source for some. So some people are going to be out of a job because of this. So, as you can assume, again, pretty big deal. Now, President-elect Donald Trump, who has vowed to use his power to quote-unquote save the app, will be sworn into office a day later. So, if the Trump administration decides to do anything, if they do, for what it's worth, the TikTok ban might be short-lived. It might just be a day, but we don't know. The Trump administration might not do anything. Now, for what it is worth, TikTok themselves had said late Friday that they will go dark without a late intervention by the Biden administration halting the law's enforcement. So TikTok's basically saying, hey, Biden administration, unless you halt the app and, not halt the app, halt the law's enforcement and, or at least give some more clarity as to what we need to do, we're just going to go dark and TikTok's just going to be gone in the US. So, the stakes are high. Now, Trump had asked the Supreme Court to delay implementation of the law to give him an opportunity to act once he returns to the White House, but the court declined that option, and there's no sale of the app seemingly imminent, so it might actually just go dark. The court's unsigned 20-page decision, which I will be reading for you guys in a little bit, said that the ban or sale law does not violate the free speech rights of Americans, and that Congress had good reason to single out TikTok for special treatment. That good reason is because of the app's quote-unquote scale and susceptibility to foreign adversary control, together with the vast swaths of sensitive data the platform collects. Now, for what it's worth, yeah, TikTok does collect a lot of data. They've collected a lot of data for a while. There's even a case where I think they were actually copying stuff off of people's clipboards. Like if you had something copied on your phone, it would actually take that and send it over to TikTok. So, yeah, they've collected data, and they've probably collected too much data, so I can understand the government's concern. But is banning the app outright really the solution? In my opinion, no. Now, there is, at least this is what the opinion says, there is no doubt that for more than 170 million Americans, TikTok offers a distinctive and expansive outlet for expression, means of engagement, and source of community. But Congress has determined that divestiture is necessary to address its well-supported national security concerns regarding TikTok's data collection practices and relationship with a foreign adversary. Basically, that means no negotiating, you sell, or you're gone. That's the end of the story. That's what is going to happen. Either they need to sell, or it's over. TikTok, no more. So, it's certainly a big, big, big deal. Now, for what it's worth, the Trump administration might do something to fix it. Well, not necessarily fix it, but do something to make TikTok happy and make the US happy. Trump, who said on Friday that he discussed with TikTok with Chinese President Xi Jinping, said in a social media post that the court's decision was expected and that everybody must respect it. His decision about the app's fate, he added, will be made in the not too distant future, but I must have time to review the situation. And the TikTok CEO thanked Trump for his commitment to work with us to find a solution that keeps TikTok available in the United States, and that the company said the company would do everything to keep the app alive for years to come. So there are signs that the app might actually stay, but they're just signs. There's no real hard hitting proof that it is going to stay, and the chances of them selling are very low, and even then they have to sell like today or they're just gone. So again, the stakes are really, 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 really high. And there's also some people who say that this violates free speech, namely free speech advocates. For example, the executive director of the Knight First Amendment Institute said that while TikTok's future will ultimately be determined by politics, quote unquote, the court's decision has, quote, weakened the First Amendment and rapidly expanded the government's power to restrict speech in the name of national security. And for what it's worth, yeah, it kind of does. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a few excerpts out of the Supreme Court decision. And these excerpts also give a little bit of insight as to what this law allows, like the provisos of this law. So, against this backdrop, Congress enacted the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. The act makes it unlawful for any entity to provide certain services to distribute, maintain, or update a foreign adversary controlled application in the United States. Entities that violate this prohibition are subject to civil enforcement actions and hefty monetary penalties. The act provides two means by which an application may be designated a foreign adversary controlled application. Now, first of all, this law explicitly designates any application that is operated either directly or indirectly by ByteDance Limited or TikTok or any subsidiary or successor thereof. So basically, this act designates any like illegal foreign controlled application as anything made by ByteDance in general. So if it's an app made by ByteDance, gone. Can't have it. Not an option. And second, the Act establishes a general designation framework for any app that is both one, operated by a covered company, quote unquote, that is controlled by a foreign adversary, and two, determined by the President to present a significant threat to national security of the United States, following a public notice and reporting process. So, in broad terms, the Act defines covered company to include a company that operates an application that enables users to generate, share, and review content and has more than 1 million monthly active users. The Act excludes from that definition a company that operates an application whose primary purpose is to allow users to post product reviews, business reviews, or travel information reviews. So basically, any social media, but not like Yelp, is the bottom line. Now, for what it's worth, yikes. Now, you can definitely, to a certain degree, understand that this does set an interesting precedent. I don't know what your opinion might be, viewer, but my opinion of this is that I do feel like this is putting a little bit more control in the federal government's hands than I'd really want, namely because any social media platform that's 1 million monthly active users or more by a foreign company could be considered something that's not allowed in the US. And that's that's iffy. It certainly sets a precedent for possible censorship to come. Now, as to whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know. I don't predict the future. But what I'm saying is that this act certainly could be used in some not so great ways if such people in power are inclined to do so. Now, this certainly sets an interesting precedent for the future of social media because, for what it's worth, this means other foreign social media platforms could also be put under this law. For example, China's Red Note, or Xiaohongshu, as it is actually called, is gotten popular with certain U.S. users as of late, And that could, in some ways, be covered under this law if the president so deems it necessary to cover it under this law, which is very, very interesting to think about. So, we might see in the future more foreign social media effectively get banned in the US unless it's divested to a US company, which, yeah, no, that sets a very, very interesting precedent. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into where to go next and what this means for you. Okay, so for what it's worth, there's a lot of different social media platforms you can go to now if TikTok does not come back to the United States. There's YouTube Shorts, there's Instagram Reels, those two are pretty popular, and I do YouTube Shorts myself, which might be how you got here. But those two platforms are pretty popular. You'll find pretty good content on there, about the same you'd find on TikTok anyways. So, for what it's worth, as a user, there are alternatives. Now, if you are a content creator on TikTok, for one thing, you might have to just genuinely rebuild your user base or fan base from the ground up. You are probably going to lose some fans. That's just an unfortunate fact of life. In terms of getting to monetization, that's also going to be different depending on which platform you go for, or maybe you're going to be doing both. So, in terms of how you're getting money from all of this, that's also probably going to change. So, if you're a content creator who does TikTok as a job, expect the next little while to be pretty bumpy because it is going to be bumpy. Um, so my apologies to you if you are one of those content creators. I know this is probably not going to be a great time for you. So my genuine apologies, because I know for some people this is genuinely going to be hard. And by hard, I mean like hard. So yeah, I am sorry if you're one of those content creators. If you're a user though, there are YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. Those two are very, very popular. Those are easy to get on to because if you're using YouTube and you're watching this video, so you're using YouTube, you'll be able to watch a short. Instagram Reels, it's just an Instagram. So if you have an Instagram account, you can just go look at Reels. So yeah, that's about it really. What we're gonna see what happens. Maybe TikTok will be sold to another company. Maybe the Trump administration will do something about it once they're sworn in. Who knows? We're just gonna have to see what the future holds for TikTok. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your opinion on all of this in the comments down below. If you want to watch more videos, you can watch them right over here. Stay safe, everybody. Take care out there. I hope you have a lovely day.